I forgot to start on the other one. So are they, so for Adobe Animate, are they coming up with an alternative? I'm sure they have one already. I feel like I just saw something that was fairly new that I hadn't seen before, and it was an animation. Because now they even have a podcast, I think it's called Adobe Podcast. Yeah, every time I go in there, there's like 700 million tools. You, they don't have an alternative yet. But do y'all know the trick for getting your Adobe subscription cheaper? Toon, Toon Boom and Moho, are those animation? Are they free? I'm assuming those are alternative animation. I don't do a lot of animation stuff, so yeah, I keep doing this foolishness. I took the tape off so I could give it more space on the other side, and I put it back exactly the same way. All right, y'all, this is going to have to be good enough. Those are free with affordable payment models. Okay. And I suppose at the end of the day, mostly it's the output that gets shared, right? So it doesn't really matter. Um, it's the output that gets shared, so it doesn't really matter what the tool is. Essie, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. I did it again, yeah. So what I had planned to do was do all of this stuff off camera and then just carve when I got here. But you know what, y'all? This is what we're gonna have to do. And the other thing that I'm going to do as a change is, let me find a pencil. Ooh, let me use the black wing because it has um, a nice soft. Oh, actually, let me not waste my black wing. Let me use. Let me use a. Oh, I don't want a 6B. Toon Boom and Moho. All right, you're going to get you are going to get I'm going to list those in our resource thing. Um MJ, so that just in case folks are interested, they can. Here we go. Here's a 3B. That's a good one to use. Um if folks are interested, they can they'll have other resources. I everything that you all mention in here, I try to take note of so that we get to this place where we have um like the resource documents that I still need to. Y'all, do not be upset with me. I'm working on the website, more of the website. It's up. It's just really, really not in good shape. Good morning, Nika Grace. Moho especially is great for stylized 2D animation. TG, you said you have so much respect for animators, and honestly, anyone who does anything on a computer, I was about to chew my mouse pad in frustration trying to figure out paths. Oh, that is funny. Thank you for the corgi, Nika Grace. Good morning. Thank you for getting your heart me and for the Go Popular. Lots of patience and a whole lot of time put into it. Yeah, and you all will never ever hear me talking dirty about going the digital route. That's why I always say that what I say is we need to find a balance between the two. I specifically chose to do my beginner, my back to basics practice traditionally because I do spend so much time with the digital tools. People assume because I'm pro analog, I'm anti digital. I am not anti digital. I am super pro digital. I just think that you need to find a balance between the two. And luckily, most of the time, the way I work ends up being kind of 50-50 for these projects. You're no better than a caveman. I'm banging on a keyboard hoping something works. TG, come on. I don't believe you. MJ said, don't get me started on topology. I don't believe you, TG. Balance is good in all parts of life. Absolutely, Trisha T. Thank you for the slow motions, Nika Grace. Bro is making the first fire with a keyboard. Y'all. All right. Let me start my. So yeah, one of the things that I definitely want to do for the when I'm doing the artwork piece um because I don't really have as much of a luxury of chatting more than working on these sessions. I think I'm going to use Tickfinity, y'all. And Glow actually uses it in a way that I think I'm going to follow. Um, you said TG said literally. Um, is that Glow is going to I'm going to follow Glow's lead with using Tickfinity and just have it so I can hear it versus you all hearing it. I have been hesitant to use Tickfinity in the past because for me it is super. I'm not in everybody's room because some people have it set up in a way that feels manageable to my to my nervous system. But y'all, some rooms I go in with Tickfinity, it's super overstimulating, and I don't. Especially in the mornings, the vibe in here is like super mellow and slow, low and slow, y'all. What is Tickfinity, TG? That's what you're asking me. Technically, I think they describe it as an auto mod, like an automated mod, but it also then serves a purpose as an accessibility tool too, um, which is super helpful. It's just it can be super aggressive. So you know when you go into rooms and you hear like the announcement of it can talk, it can say the comments out loud when people gift, it announces the gifting and all that stuff. That's Tickfinity. I don't know who owns the company, but it's set up as an automod to help folks. It actually is what I found is it's a super nice way for folks that are doing any kind of like demonstrative work where they have to have their head down quite a bit. I find that it's quite useful. I see that it's quite useful in those rooms. Yeah, I'm making a mess with this thing. The robo comments, you've noticed that. Yeah, it is. And TG, to be fair, oh, Chunky, good morning. Thank you for getting your heart me. How are you today? Champa Big Ace, welcome in. Champ the Big Ace. You stressed me out, champ. I couldn't read that for 2 seconds because thank you for getting your heart me and joining the Inky crew and welcome in. Paul, good morning. How are you this morning? you you saw me like you set me up, champ. I was like, huh? But I got it fairly quickly. Thank you, Chunky. Are you off to work? Thank you so much. I appreciate every time you do that. Thank you for dropping in. Yeah, what was I talking about? Oh, the Tickfinity. All right. Have a great day. Thank you. So TG, what I found is there are folks. Paul, thank you for getting your heart me. There are folks that have it set up in a way that feels like it feels really good. You all know, most of you know, Make It Shatter. Make It Shatter, when Make It Shatter goes live, Make It Shatter is using Tickfinity, but only for certain things. So, like in Make It Shatter's room, I have no problem because it's it's super helpful. To me, then it becomes like a super helpful accessibility tool or automod, but it's not like overstimulating. But in some rooms, some people have it set up so that it announces every gift. So if somebody sends you 20, like 20, I don't know, 20 stars. I don't know why I can't think of the most simple gift. 20, it announces it 20 times. Y'all. Now you can set it up so it only announces like one time. Yes, TG, and that's how I'm going to do it. That's how Glow has it set up like that, or Glow had it set up like that. Oh, Maximalist, can you imagine? Rah! So every single one. Sweet Author Art, welcome in. Good morning. High Five Studios, good morning. Welcome in. Paul, thank you for the slow motion. Y'all, Maximalist, did you notice? Slow motion, because we're going low and slow today. Um, Now Maximalist has me looking for themed gifts based on what's happening in the room. That's a new gift actually. So yeah, every gift. So TG, yeah, I got that from Glow because I didn't know you could set it up like that, and I don't know if Glow still uses it, but I do know Glow was using it that way. Slow motion is better than no motion. That's right. Uh, it's progress. That's the thing. Cause y'all, listen to me. You know, if you start work, you're working on something, and that's the whole, analysis. You're constantly planning. This is a message for me too. Listen to me. I am well aware that I do that same thing. Constantly like analyzing, constantly planning, and not taking action. So much time passes, and you haven't done what you need to do. And if you just took it slow, started, did your iterations, you would be much further along in 6 months than you are now with nothing. So that's a message for me too. Slow motion is definitely better than no motion. Anything forward moving. And y'all, listen, there's also this element of taking a couple steps back so you can take like leaps forward. Sometimes you have to do that. I think about the back to basics practice that I'm doing, and that's kind of the approach that I'm taking, is taking the time to go back to the basics for me is setting me up for this huge forward motion that I'm going to get on some of the work I want to do. Oh, Maximalist, thank you for those slow motions. So for the newer folks in the room, the folks that might follow me but not have been in the live stream, my name is LeeAnn. I'm an illustrator and a printmaker. I would say I probably need to flip that. I'm a printmaker and an illustrator because I am primarily a printmaker. Of course, I have to draw to be a printmaker, but you understand what I'm saying. I am here in the mornings and I do go live at night. Some mornings I'm doing a back to basics drawing practice. So I'm doing basic drawing exercises. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings, I'm doing basic drawing exercises. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday mornings, um, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday mornings. Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Sorry, y'all. I'm doing beginner drawing exercises. And then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday mornings, I am doing like my regular art practice stuff. So I am a full-time artist. That means a lot of things, but I am a full-time artist. And so on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Yeah, lots of tongue twisters, MJ. I'm like stressing myself out right now. I'm like, wow. I need to refine this part of the spiel. This part is new, y'all. So Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday mornings, I will be here doing like my regular art practice stuff, and that can vary from time to time what I'm working on. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday nights, I am also here starting today at 7 p.m. Eastern, and those will be the beginner drawing exercises. Anyway, what I'm working on now is I'm doing an image transfer onto a Lino block sheet, whatever we want to call it, so that I will carve it, because I am working on my first set of ACEOs. That I also have to get used to saying. This will be an interesting experiment, y'all. So we'll be here doing this stuff. Let's see how far I get by Thursday. I probably will still be doing this on Thursday. Let's see. But the reason we are talking a little bit about Tickfinity is I need to figure out a way to hear the comments so I know what's going on and then be able to react, but still have my head down, working. Um, it's a very interactive room and I want to maintain that, but still, respect my need to get work done during these particular ones. So let's see what happens, y'all. Now, listen to me. That does not mean y'all don't talk and say things and ask questions. Please continue to do that. I will on my end figure out the solution to keep the room running in the way that we love. So please don't hesitate to keep um our vibe going. You get tired of looking up at the screen? You know what, champ? I'll tell you this. When I'm here during, like, when I'm doing the drawing practice stuff, we have a nice rhythm in here. Don't you start any trouble, TG. We have a nice rhythm in here, champ, and I don't mind looking up at the screen. And let me tell you something. Half the time they will tell you we get into some really interesting conversations and I end up not moving at all up here and I'm just looking and chatting, which I do not mind. It's just that when I'm doing this type of work, it's not about being disturbed. I literally cannot afford to spend the whole, not maximize the 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? So that is why I want to use the Tickfinity. And if I can hear the comments, as long as y'all don't mind me talking while my head is down, we can still have the dialogue. It would be good. Yeah, TG. It's hard to stay focused, especially when you have an engaged room, which I love. Which is why I'm like, yeah, please don't stop talking because I want I want to keep that rhythm here. I really love that about our interaction in this room. So I don't want to lose that. I don't know why I'm using the ruler now because I'm gonna have to use it when I'm doing the outlines. All right, I do have to sharpen this, y'all. You got to stay focused, TG. You got to create an outline for yourself and some non-negotiable points. But TG, maybe we can start, if we start using Glow's method of just hearing the comments in our ears. You have music playing when drawing and on live. Yeah. Do you hear our music, champ? We got ourselves a little music situation going on too. Champ, when do you go live? So we can check you out. Do you have a schedule? Y'all, I'm kind of excited about these doors. Eggnoggin, welcome in. Good morning. You are so easy to derail, TG. Well, TG, you see me in here. You know I'm easy to derail. Y'all half the time have to remind me what I was talking about. Oh, y'all, you know what I haven't been doing? Hi, Zozo. Welcome in. Yikes. Y'all, I've been ignoring my friends over on the YT. That's not good. That's what happens when you're discombobulated. Yeah, they left me. They left me because they were like, what's going on here? She's ignoring us. Hey, Chef Tanya, how are you? That is Corinne Bailey Ray. Ray. Corinne Bailey Ray. Yeah. You try to go live on the weekends. All right, well, I will look out for you and hopefully I will be able to catch you. TG, it is easy. And listen, it's one of those things where you have to just either figure out to yourself that it's you want to be able to get certain things done, like certain things accomplished in the stream. Maybe set yourself some like non-negotiables. These for sure need to get accomplished. And like on the other end, these secondary things don't need to get said and you don't feel bad. I don't know. It's tricky. But the other thing I will tell you is having folks come in, like you all come into my lives on a regular basis, having that happen is actually, there's a permaculturist you watch and he just ignores the chat unless it's relevant to his lecture. Okay. And I think that's okay, actually. If I think about Chef Tanya, did I say you are on a very chilly walk with the dog? Oh, yeah. I am not excited for you, Chef Tanya. I get it though, TG, right? Because but I'm sure you don't mind. That's what I was going to say. I'm sure you don't mind because you're there for the information. You really are there for the information. So you're not like, um, ooh, watercolors. Look at you. The info is worth it. Y'all see an example of it. It's not quite the same. Like he's not ignoring his chat, but he's very focused about what he does in his room. Art Walker that comes in here sometimes. When he goes live, I love it too, is that he'll say he's working on hands that day. You know, people love to drop into your live stream and tell you what to do. um can you show me how to do a face? Can you show me how to do legs? You know what I mean? They decide what they want to do, and he's very good about like refocusing folks and having them um realize that he's focused on one thing for the entire live stream and he will not be going off that topic so to speak. That's another way, right? He doesn't ignore his chat. He's in his chat, but he's definitely redirecting people like, this is about hands, y'all. This is about hands. That will, whatever the request is, will be on another day, but this is about hands. So you're home. Oh, did you just come from swimming, Black Lotus? I know it's cold out there. Y'all know what I'm saying. Like, I get that permaculture is still. Oh, Art Walker. I literally just talked about you. Literally. I mean, I was kind of waiting for that to happen. You're okay. All right. It's really cold. I know it's really cold. That's why I'm like, I hope you're okay. I just was talking about you, Art Walker. Yeah, I was telling them how when you go live, how I've seen you, like, okay, the example I used was you're working on hands in that live for the day, but you always get people coming in saying, "Oh, can you show me how to do a face?" or whatever. They always pick a different body, not always, but folks will come into your room picking something else that they want you to show them how to do that is not hands, and you'll redirect them and basically explain to them that today is about hands, and whatever they're requesting will be on another day. That is what I was talking about, because we were talking about just kind of the going live and the managing and staying on topic and all of that stuff, and how the experience we've had in other people's rooms, with how they're managing some of the action in their chat. Because the reason it came up is because I have to figure out the best way to support the community in the chat, because sometimes now I'm starting to do night lives again. And sometimes now I'm going to be doing in the mornings, I'm going to be doing my regular work. Like, I'm a full-time artist, my printmaking stuff mostly. So I will have to actually be spending most of my time doing the work. So I have to figure out a way to still keep the community going. Because that's an important, that prevents the live stream from getting chaotic. I agree. I totally agree. Um, I totally agree. So I was using you as an example of someone managing that um in a good way. So you plan to go 2 times. One can be a hangout while one is all business. Yeah, TG. So it's the rhythm of it that people will get used to. But I do think using Tickfinity will help me, because I can run my mouth while my head is down. I don't mind that. It's just that I cannot keep looking up. I'm like looking up and talking all the time. Y'all know how I am. So that won't be happening as much in these. So I think I'm going to try out the Tickfinity. And of course, I didn't set it up before this morning's live. So we'll test it out on Thursday. But I will be here tonight at 7 p.m. doing the beginner drawing practice stuff that I've been working on. I am a little bit curious to see what. Me too, TG. And if it works for me, then you should try it too. I think in general, it's an interest. We have to try different things to make the rhythm of this live stream thing work. Because also it's the live stream on TikTok, the culture of it is very different than the live streams on the other platforms. I'm on the YT and you say hello. Eva, are you still there? You are still there, Eva. How are you? Is it Eva or Ava? Bye, TG. See you later. Live streams are not easy if you don't have the moderators. So Art Walker, I am going to start trying to use Tickfinity actually, and see how that works out for me. Because this way, when I'm doing these types of lives where I'm doing my work, I can have my head down more, but still be alerted that stuff is happening. I wouldn't have it set up for everyone to hear, just for me to hear. So that should be an interesting test. And this is a good test too to see. Chef Tanya, Tickfinity is an automated mod / accessibility tool that will, it announces the, like all the stuff that's happening in the, like all the stuff that happens in the chat, it announces it out loud. Did I? So it announces it, and this way, so most people have it set up that it announces. A lot of gamers use it, and also because they have to be focused on their screen. And also I've noticed a lot of artists using it because their heads are down and they're focused on, you know, what they're working on. So it can be helpful. What I have found is if you don't have it set up, oh, and Black Lotus uses it too, that's right. Black Lotus, I would say, Black Lotus, you said it's better to stay on topic than to digress to something else. I think it depends, right? Hey, Lighthouse, how are you? I think if you have a set topic and people were expecting that to be discussed, then folks might prefer that you stay on topic. But that's one of the things I can hear. We don't traditionally, you said exhausted, you're going back to sleep. Please do. Please do. You shouldn't be here. Please go back to sleep. I appreciate you dropping in and dropping your heart me and the Go Popular, but go to sleep. If you need to go to sleep, go to sleep. Because it is, wait, yeah. It's very early still for you. Please go to sleep. And I bet you stayed up late last night. I bet you stayed up late last night doing awesomeness. So good night, potentially. Good night, heart emoji. Chef Tanya, that's a good question. I believe, I hope Glow comes in here. Hey Blondie, good morning. I do not think, I think you can use it on other things. I do not remember where. I believe you can use it on Twitch. With OBS maybe. I gotta check, but it's not, I know because of the name, it feels like it might be just for TikTok, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. It's an app. It's actually both a desktop and a mobile app. My understanding is that it is because I think it was originally built with gamers in mind. So I believe, and the streaming world is primarily like a desktop world. Um, like the the streaming culture. So the Tickfinity app, it has more features on the desktop app than the phone. These are the things I've been learning from Glow. Y'all know Glow is another artist and gamer that goes live and comes into, it's part of the community here. But yeah, I've been learning that a lot of that stuff from Glow, because Glow has been testing it out. So yeah, my understanding of it is that it, all right, y'all, I actually do need to do this because it, oh, oh, it clearly has a strong, it did actually have a strong hold. The flatness I thought I had achieved doesn't appear to be the case. Blondie, how are you this morning? Blondie, you're late. I'm only teasing. I hope that's because you were actually getting some sleep. All right. I mean, it's not that serious because I'll just flatten before I do this. You were sleeping. Perfect. Good. All right, y'all. So yeah, what I am doing is, because I said it super earlier in the live, I am doing an image transfer onto my linoleum block. I've chosen to use the good old HB pencil on the back shading, and then the image, and then going over the image, and it will be on the linoleum block for a few different reasons, mostly because look at this stupidness that my printer is doing. Now let's be clear, I need to get new black ink, that's why it's doing that. So let me not yell at the printer, it is definitely my fault. But that's what I'm doing here. My goal was to get this done pre-stream off camera, but I didn't, and I didn't want to. We just go with the flow and we iterate as we go along, y'all. I did not want to not start our new rhythm because I didn't do what I was supposed to do before. So I'm here doing it here. This is part of the work. Y'all are going to see me do a lot of things because I'm going to need to sharpen some tools. Because this is each one of these is super tiny, and so I am going to need to use my super small tools to carve these. But we're going low and slow, y'all. Oh, somebody is being very aggressive with their vehicle outside. Hey, short stuff, good morning. Fixing your ashy heart. I appreciate you. How are you? I probably need to fix my ashy heart in your room. I just feel like the time goes by so quickly. So don't worry, I'm not giving, I give no one a hard time about these ashy hearts because I feel like I blink and the 7 days pass and I'm like, oh my goodness. Every day. Yep, it definitely does. It definitely does. This door has, I created it with so many elements and they're very tight. Huh. I might have to think about how I do this one. Every day just really does fly by. Let's see my time. An hour. I actually, y'all, I think I might actually get to carve. It won't be for a long time, but I think I might start being able to carve today. So there might be something interesting to actually watch. Ouch. Am I losing my lines? Yeah, I was so excited to start this. And I didn't do my prep. Oh, you like this song, Blondie? You never heard this one before? This is I don't know how he pronounces his last name. Ray LaMontagne and Sierra Farrell. I Was Born to Love. His songs are very beautiful. Always helps when you're having fun doing something you like. Yes, Farrell Mom. Um, it definitely does. Um, I am I don't know if nervous is the word, but I am very curious about how this ACEO thing is going to play out for me. I mean, it's something I've thought about for a long time, but I also feel like I needed to understand. I couldn't, in the beginning, before I did a little bit of deep diving, I couldn't understand how it was, like how it worked for people, because some people's ACOs sell for ACEOs ACEOs sell for ACEO. I keep saying ACO. ACEO sell for little tiny bits of money. And I just always think to myself that from a practical standpoint, I know volume is part of it, but it just didn't make sense. But then I realized that a lot of people had created a system for efficiently creating them. So that's the part that I need to um, that I need to figure out for myself. And so this is step one of it. Short stuff, it stands for, let me tell you exactly because I always forget what the exact thing is. It stands for artist something. Um, they're baby, oh y'all, they're super tiny original artwork that have like this cult. It stands for art cards, editions, and originals. And they're like mini collectible original works of art that have like it's a thing. Collectors are buying them. And to the point where they have like, they're 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. So they're super tiny. This is the size. This is the stuff. This is the size of it. So it's super tiny, and they're original pieces of work that collectors are buying, and they even, different people display them in different ways. The postcard. Lots of people have those monthly postcard clubs, short stuff, and are doing really well because people will support that. Absolutely, absolutely. You're right. A lot of people do that. These are not. They are. Oh, I have a. Oh no. I mean, I guess because I'm in that world, I know that it is and has been a thing. Oh, don't go on Patreon, my friend. You know how many people are making a lot of money doing that. This is the size of the card. Hey Heidi, how are you? You've been painting doors this year. I'm obsessed with doors, Heidi. Um, Yeah, short stuff. A lot of people do. And so this is the interesting thing about this thing is that this is the size of them, y'all. I have small hands and this thing is small, right? So it's people buy those binders with the, you know, trading card binders and buy original art, and they're collecting it that way. You know, they're it's genuinely a thing. And so, yes, Heidi, I am making ACEOs. So I have always been obsessed with doorways. I showed folks this earlier. I don't know if anybody. Oh, hi. I don't. I think only Maximalist and Black Lotus were in here. So this is a print that I did some years ago, and it is this just to show you. I've doorways have been a super intense obsession. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with doorways. So then when I was like, what do I do for this for this ACEO venture that I'm jumping into? Let's see how this works. Oh, let's see how this works. Thank you, y'all. I appreciate it. It's Linocut. The color I did with gouache, and it actually really is gorgeous. It's on handmade paper. So you see that texture? It's on handmade paper. So it really is gorgeous. I don't, y'all, and I don't know why. I need to put my prints up. I don't know why they're not up. Mm. That's another discussion for another day. It's all about this transition from the print shop to now acting to my next evolution. I need to get that stuff up and stop playing around. Oh yeah, yikes! This is. You'd rather draw a closed door the same way they're in my house, closed. These doors are closed. What? These doors are closed. All right, Walker, I only know what I'm talking about for this stuff. I've been a printmaker for a long time. And I haven't practiced my illustration the way I should. I owned a print shop and all that stuff. So my focus once I became a full-time creative, my focus went in a commercial direction because I what I did was I went from corporate and I applied corporate to my creative work. So I ended up in that place, which is not a bad place. It's just that um now that I shut the print shop down, I'm approaching things slightly differently. Slightly. Only slightly differently, y'all. Would I do a monthly art club short stuff? I would have no problem with doing that. Part of the challenge with a monthly art club is I know you have to get there, but one of the things for me is because I'm not doing this as my side hustle. I have to think about like things potentially that will get me to money a little bit more quickly sometimes. Not saying that that's the approach to do, but sometimes that's my place. And those monthly art clubs are tricky because when you first start out, you only get a few people. I know you need to build up and stuff. So I have thought about it. I haven't going I haven't done it yet, but yeah, it's something I would do. Sure. So yeah, short stuff. So what's going to happen is I'm going to carve these designs out, and then I will print the base, which would be like the black. I would print like the black um of the base on this is an 8.5 by 11 sheet, y'all. I don't have It's an 8.5 by 11 size because that's the paper that I'm going to be using is 8.5 by 11. So yeah, I would do that print first, and then for each one, then I can start to do some slight customization, so it becomes each one is different than the other. The doors, I'm going to probably do another set of 4 door designs. So I'll have a total of 8 doors and do it that way, short stuff. So you're thinking about it in exactly the right way. That's what. Sorry, y'all. Wow. Um, that's what I'm going to do. Let's see how this works out. But yeah, you bringing it up, short stuff, is putting it back kind of in my realm of things to maybe see if I would launch again this year. Um, the reason I have not done it yet is I'm trying to figure out um I'm trying to figure out, should I do that as part of the stationery brand? Because I'm bringing the stationery brand back in a revamped way. Um, and I might not go the wholesale route this time. I'm not sure about that. I haven't made the final decision yet. Um, oh, Heidi. Yeah, so short stuff. The thing that a lot of people, I get that. But a lot of those folks are doing their postcards digitally. Like their prints are digital. I'm not saying I'm opposed to that, but the way that printmaking works is that each one is an original print. Um, and the cost, if I was doing like the original prints, it would be more expensive than that. So that's another thing. But it is a lot of work, Heidi. Um, so there are a lot of short stuff. Yes, it could be that, but like I have a. That's why it's still something that I haven't pulled the that I haven't done, because there are pieces of it that I still need to reconcile with how I want to approach my creative practice. I'm not sure that I want to do that yet. So I have to make a decision about that. There are other things that I want to do that are more important to me. So it's not off the table, short stuff. It's just not. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying. Caroline! Friend, I've missed you. We need an update. Amazing Tash, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining. Yeah, short stuff. So don't get me wrong, it's not off the table, my friend. It's really not. Especially as I'm building community, it's not off the table. Let's put it that way. Um, but so yeah. Caroline, I need an update. Oh, today's Tuesday. I was about to say, why are you here today? But today's Tuesday. And I'm going to sit here just like this until I get it. Oh, I knew it already. When I didn't see you, I knew that it was school. But that's okay. That's okay, friend. You're starting something again, and you're adding something to your already full adult life. Listen, I'm so. Oh, so how does the schedule work now? Yeah, we haven't seen Caroline because Caroline went back to school and is was navigating a tricky schedule. So on one day, is that what you're doing? One day of all 6 classes? This is, so y'all, this ACEO thing with this stuff will be interesting. Let's see how this works out. 6 a.m. Monday and Wednesday class, 7 a.m. to 3:45. So you're just going straight back to back to back. Wow. But you said you feel like you're getting into a rhythm with it now? Y'all, I'm telling you right now, this is going to be an interesting thing. This one is going to work really well. But this one I'm not sure about. There, I think I added a little bit too much detail here. So I might have to make some adjustments. But we go with the flow, y'all. Get my... It looks like I might be okay over here, y'all. You said there was a third system with work to complete. So last week, ouch, ouch. But last week is over now. And this week you're here. So that means you feel a little less stressed, right? I'm assuming. Mama Lee, welcome in. Thank you for joining us again. How are you? Yeah, people get scared when I say hello. You survived. That's right. You survived so you can thrive. Y'all, I'm kind of excited because the YT stream has been behaving itself so far. Yeah, y'all, I don't know. This is going to be... So this is what I will say right now, y'all. The room cleared out. That's so funny. Um, I will say this, y'all. Heidi, you are saying that's a lot of work. I'm telling you right now. I am already thinking about this. I'm not creating another set of doors. I was thinking that I would do another 4 designs of doors. I'm gonna see how this works first and then go from there. So that it's a lot of work up front, but if these do well, I actually will be in a really good place. So let's see. So for the folks outside the room, I am doing an image transfer onto a Linocut block because I am going to carve. Hopefully I'll get to start carving before I actually don't think I'm going to be able to carve yet, y'all. Like, I think I'm going to. I might only get to transfer the image. I might not be able to actually carve this morning. However, what I will do is carve. If I don't get to start carving, I will carve and do some video, film it. Because I'll probably carve a little bit later and film it. Although I also need to print. Y'all, I have one print that I started that I need to finish. I need to do the final color on it. And then I also need to paint it. And I also have another block that I need to print. So yeah, I have a lot of work to do and a lot of things that I can actually do in this Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday space, morning space. So I'm looking forward to that because there is lots that I can do while we're here in the mornings, but so I'm not worried about that part, but I do have work to do outside of the live stream to get me to be able to have this stuff to do here. So interesting work. Heidi, do you do ACEOs? I don't even know if you're still here, Heidi. It shows me that you're here, but this thing is not always accurate. Black Lotus, you're still with me, I think. Oh, Blondie, you weren't here when I explained. Yes. So, Blondie, you know I've been in here talking about ways to use some of the paper, and we were in here talking about ACEOs, and I said I am going to try the ACEOs. And I don't know if you were here that day when Dana was here, and folks were basically saying to me, try it, LeeAnn, why not? And so I said, let me figure out what I would do as like a first set of them. And so I'm obsessed with doors. That's why, I showed y'all that print. I love doorways, like decorative doors. And so Loving Taurus, good welcome. How are you? I'm obsessed with doorways and I showed y'all that print. And so what I decided to do is do some doorways as ACEOs. So I came up with four designs of doors, and then what I will do is print them on sheets, and then around the door I'll create different like decorative elements. Sometimes it might be a pattern, sometimes it might be like flowers around the door. Some doorways have those flowers and stuff like that. So I am going to do those as ACOs to see how they do. Let's see what happens. I mean, also, I don't know, there's a component of it where it's like some folks have told me not to. I shouldn't be showing this part on the live stream because other people will see it and whatever. I don't have energy for that. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Good morning, Tanya. Thank you for getting your heart me. How are you, friend? I don't have the energy to fight with anybody about what will work and what doesn't work for this ACEO game. You know what I mean in terms of like not showing work and that stuff. Um, if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, and someone quote unquote takes the idea, so be it. Are you at work? Yeah, Blondie. God, that's good, but you know, it's like that's what I was saying is that I can't spend my time on that part. Um, I want to be able to do some of this work on live. Now there is work that I'll be doing that you know, the risk will be less, I suppose. But you know, I also am just going to think positively about it and try it out. Let's see what happens. Everybody's work is different. So even if, I don't know, somebody might already be doing doorways. I haven't seen it, but you never know. And that it's one of those things where it's like, you know, no idea is, or soup is original for real, for real. Um, not no, you know what I'm saying is that somebody somewhere has the same idea or thought of the same thing potentially. So I'm not gonna stress about it. All right. You said but the boss is not in yet. You are really risking it all.